Hi, everybody. Melissa Klein here, and I am here to welcome you to the Color and Light class. And I want to say that no matter where you're at, you are welcome here, and I'm so happy. Whether you're a beginner that is not really sure about even like what questions to ask with the materials, I know what that's like. I am the person who brought my draft horse with an English saddle to a cow working class uh, and actually had a pretty fantastic time. And why? Because the instructors and the other students were very compassionate and understanding about like, all right, we get that you don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm here. And one actually really great piece of advice I got from a horse trainer was, um, there's a tendency to want to like, if things are going sideways with your horse and you're not very good at whatever it is, there's a tendency to want to like disappear behind the barn and like practice the thing that you're really embarrassed, and you're like, oh, I don't want everybody to see that I don't can't even get my horse to go around in a circle around me, and it's an amoeba or whatever like that. um and what this trainer had said was, actually, if you are in that situation, you want to actually bring your horse to the center of the ring and the center of the arena, and you want to get people's help, and you want to get that dealt with rather than hiding around the corner of the barn. Sometimes people have a tendency to do that with art. They're like, oh, don't look at it, So, and I'm all like, I gotta look at it. But I will be respectful of that. And if you are somebody who has experience, awesome. I love having that dialogue with people as well who've studied art. And sometimes I think in some ways it's very humbling to me that you're willing to take my class, and a huge compliment, because I know you're bringing some skills to that and I respect it. But I also know that quite often people sign up to my class who have done art and have maybe fallen out of practice, and they want that structure. And I get that. I'm like that with yoga. I don't do yoga unless I go to the yoga class. I need that structure to do it. And I also know what it's like too as an artist, because I've had times in my own life in which I haven't done art for months, or even longer. 6 months or more goes by, and I'm like, God, what's the matter with me? I'm like, well, yeah, you're working two jobs and you're dealing with moving and all these transitions in life. And so sometimes that happens. Sometimes we just get busy, we get tired, all those things, or we just kind of, it's easy to lose touch with. So I think the fact that you're re-engaging in that is wonderful. And please know, I'm not going to be judgy about like, well, because I think that doesn't really serve us very well to be punitive in our attitudes about art, whether it's like because we're a beginner, like, that's why we're here, or for because we're experienced but we haven't done that much. um it's that the guilt, blame, shame thing. It doesn't work. I'm kind of saying this for myself as well. um I'm really excited to be combining the elements of Zoom as well as live. This is a first for me with that. I'm an experienced teacher. I've taught for oh my God. Um like, I think we're at 20 something years at this point. Oh shit, it's more like 30. No. Yeah, because I first started to teach art in my mid-20s, and now I'm in my mid-50s. You do the math, okay. Mid-50s. So there we go. And then there's also so I get where you're coming from. And the beautiful thing about art is that it has a way of everybody, no matter what their experience, has something to offer, and is valued in this class. There's been times that I've been in situations with beginners who I'm like, wow, I really like how they use that color, that weird yellow, and I could use to learn, try to brighten up my own palette from this beginner. Like, why not? There's something to learn. um, Getting back to the format though, this is a first, combining the Zoom classes with the live classes. And one of the things that happened to me was I had just launched a couple classes right before COVID hit, and it was either return the money or move online. And many of my students followed me online, and it was a very new adventure for all of us. And I believe we were all a bit skeptical about it, and yet we were surprised to see how well it worked. We were just astonished, frankly, because I could do demo videos and I would not expect students to watch me painting for 5 hours doing a demo, but I could do it, film it, and then speed it up to, a 5 or 7 minute video, which made it doable. And they could watch that again and again, because sometimes I'll do demos and I'll do them pretty quickly and I want to maximize class time. And this is a great way to like kind of condense it. And the other thing that happened was, I'm the kind of artist who, like, I respect my students. I don't draw or paint on top of my students' work. In fact, I was shocked, like this, my mom signed up for a workshop and the instructor went at her and told her, you did this wrong, and like just totally, over my mom's painting. And 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 she was just like, it really left an icky feeling, and I'm like, that's not how I ever have been, even with some of my younger students, like high school students. That's just not respectful. But digitally, with permission, I could digitally draw on top of their work, and I could show them like, oh, let's try it with this color, and notice if you shift it over this way, or let's correct the drawing on this, and I can show you on your drawing. And it's respectful and yet also very helpful. And my students were amazed when I started to do that. And I came up with that very spontaneously because I was working with a student who just couldn't quite get what I was saying. And I was like, just can I draw on your thing and show you? And she's like, yeah. And it was like, and then everybody's like, ah. So that's one of the beautiful things about Zoom, and having that. I think no matter what you do, whether you take only live or only do Zoom or mix and match, make it work for you. I came up with this format to be flexible for you and do what makes sense for you. If you have the bandwidth to do it, it's awesome if you can do both of them for the most benefit. But if you can only make it to one, do what you can. It's all good. Just show up. Woody Allen said 80% of being successful is just showing up. And he was pretty dang successful. So, at any rate, I look forward to seeing you and have a great day. Thanks again.